Hello, we're continuing with long-ass chapter 4. Let's go. Just like that, another meaningless day has passed. It was a contradiction, and I couldn't think of a solution that didn't come to my mind, even if we thought about it together. Gradually, my stomach was at its limit. It didn't seem strange even if I died right away. If I let go of my mind even a little bit, I would close my eyes and die. I saw myself only to think at this point. "7 a.m. This morning, I don't know if it's okay or not, there was just an unpleasant feeling like there's a noise in my head. Already my body was not like mine. As to prove it, regardless of my will, my body started to move. Somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I have to go. Morning. Here we go. There's probably going to be a dead body. Not this way. Oh. The room. The arsenal, inside the tightly closed door, full of inspiration. Such a close place, there were only clues that might help overcome the situation. How I didn't realize there's a way to get out from the suffering so easily. Reason and morality have already been gone out the window. Rather than waiting to die like this, Eh? The arsenal is locked? No, I don't remember seeing a lock on the door to the arsenal. The door can't be locked. Then why doesn't it open? What? What's with the fuss, Yuki? Teruya, hey there. The arsenal door doesn't open. What? Who locked it? It couldn't have been locked. The door to the arsenal doesn't have a lock mechanism. Someone blocked it with something from the inside. Help me open this. Okay. Oomph. What the hell? What's that sound? I think something broke inside? The thing that was blocking the door inside seems to be broken. Will it open now? Yeah, I think so. What? What was this? That moment of opening the door, my view was filled with a huge noise. I couldn't see anything and I couldn't hear anything. Was it a flashbang grenade that's common in FPS games? Felt like I was hit by that. It becomes impossible to know the top or bottom, left or right. It becomes impossible to tell whether you're standing or falling. As time passed and my eyesight and hearing gradually recovered, the figure of Teruya and myself began to be engraved on the eyeballs by something coming from the floor. Well, it's smoky. My eyes are still weird. The tears don't stop. Damn it, who's doing this prank? Teruya, there's something inside. I still couldn't walk properly because my head was ringing. I walked into the arsenal as if I was hooked by something, because there was a familiar smell that I have been sensed a lot in the past few weeks, and the thick scent of the smoke. Oh, fuck. Who's dead? Yes, there's no doubt this is blood. As soon as I smelled it, my mind froze. I couldn't accept reality waiting in the arsenal. The cruel reality was engraved into my eyes. Who's dead? Is it Ray? No, Haru! No, Haru. Fuck, no. No vitality left in their life. I opened my eyes to his empty, dead eyes. Cruel reality of the death of Haruhiko Kobushikawa, the ultimate pilot. No, Haru. Haruhiko died. Another terrifying murder took place. The others came running soon due to the noise of the flashbang and the thick smoke. And then the body discovery announcement came out. If these shocking things happened in an instant, we were eating like crazy. I ate food so vehemently, as if trying to relieve my resentment. After Haruhiko's body being discovered, Monokuma immediately provided us with food. It was so much we could eat as much as we wanted to eat. Since the murder has occurred, we have to investigate, and of course, have a class trial. For all this was eating. No, I liked Haru, man. He was like Hagakure, but actually had plot relevance, man. Fuck. Damn it. No, I liked him. I actually oh, piss. Fuck, man. Eating as much as possible to recover our stamina. We must do our best to find the culprit who killed Haruhiko. Find the culprit who couldn't stand hunger and killed a friend. We continue to eat. As Haruhiko left us, there are only 7 people left in this place. Now we are with Kinu and Makaru here while filling our stomachs. Everyone didn't say anything as if it was because of the shock, because they had food in front of them that they hadn't seen for days, except for one, Iranami. Oh no, Satsuki. Oh no, her and Haru had such a good relationship. Oh no. Oh, my heart. Oh, Haru, why Hey, why are you being nosy? Eat or cry, just do one at a time. I'm sorry, but I'm sad. What can I do? It was Satsuki, who was the closest to family, like family to Haruhiko, so she must be the most saddened by the loss of him. Satsuki, you tried to stay as bright as possible in any situation. Couldn't stop crying. Guys, listen while eating. I have a confession to make before we investigate. Actually, I was thinking of killing myself a few days ago. Went in out of the arsenal countless times. I don't have a face to show. I'm really sorry. It wasn't Yuki's fault. Anyone would have been swayed by it. Actually, I hesitated again and again. Yeah, it'd be weird not to go crazy. I've been just picking people to die. I've been crazy, very mad, and even thought it was crazy, so to die 1,000 times more than Haru. Kobazing, oh no, Oh no, not Kobazing. Damn it, man. It's not anyone's fault. The bad one is Monokuma, trying to make a murder take place. We have no choice but to go on trial again. I'm satisfied. I've eaten now, so I'll begin investigating. I'll ask you to investigate as well, because you're not out of the crisis from dying, because you can't fail the trial, can you? Wait a minute, Kinjo. What do you want? Why are you so calmly asking for cooperation? Don't you have anything to say? Weren't you the one who was trying to force people to commit suicide because you're completely out of your mind? You're not going to say you don't remember, you're not going to say you don't remember, do you? You're making a fight and being crazy. Didn't I tell you this? I won't treat you like criminals only in the case of a class trial, because I want to cooperate as much as possible. And I was crazy? I don't seem to remember that. Are you trying to fake it? We almost died because of you. Don't be mistaken. It's just that I don't have any crazy memories. I'm not soft enough yet to blow my mind out only because I was hungry. Huh? Kinjo, wait a second. To say you're not crazy. Insane, did you mean that? What about it? Then in your mind, after thinking, you really tried to kill us? In that situation, there was only one way to solve it without murder. That's crazy! You were hungry and sleeping, and it was always crazy. Why am I the one being suspected? I just acted to save you guys who didn't want to become preliminary criminals. What do you mean save? Death is not eternal rest. What is this? A cult of religion? You want a word of apology from me? For me to say an apology means admitting that I did something wrong and express my apology. I did nothing wrong here. If you're looking for apologies, you guys should be the ones to do it. You tied me up and confined me. Right now we're going back and forth on the trial now. At least I know how to take responsibility for my actions. You damned. Teruya, stop it. Kinjo, just as I thought, you're being very strange now. You hate crime, but it's not just that. Your mood has completely changed from before. You don't know what's best for anyone because of that. You don't know what's best for anyone. Because of that, you're being weird, isn't it? I told you to shut up, Yuki. Whatever both sides say, it remains on the verge of a class trial anyway. Focus on the investigation, not on this bullshit. Kinjo gets mad like that. It's really strange, as Yuki said. The guy, what happened? Why is he acting like that? Just a few things. Well, maybe it's for the best. As he said, the fact that we're on the verge of a class trial remains the same. Don't think just because we're free from here, it's all over. Damn it, why does it have to be like this? Yuki, I understand you have mixed feelings. You guys are right. But for now, let's focus on the investigation. Oh, poor Satsuki. Satsuki, you too. For Haru's sake, okay? Okay. Prior to the investigation, we changed from our party outfits to our casual clothes that we no longer needed to wear. As a result, I was able to recover my student handbook and make it easier to move. Though Haruhiko's death was the cause of our escape, it would be in vain if the truth is not revealed at the subsequent class trial. It's the same story all over again. Kinjo, there are many problems ahead, but as my friend said, let's focus on the problem in front of us. The class trial is not to be taken lightly at all, not to face it with thoughts that would disrupt our reasoning. I'll have to investigate from here on out as well. It's the arsenal where the body was found. It was a lot better than before, when the smoke was still in full view at the time the door was opened. Haruhiko, always trying to stay bright and keep us from dying. I have a different mind when my heart thinks about my friends. At this time when I was at the ballroom, everyone was going crazy, and our reasoning was erasing from our minds, even though I was on the verge to kill. Why did you end up like this? I'll reveal them. Because of his death, we're alive. I'll never make your death in vain. I'll survive for Haru's sake. Man, I didn't even get to, like, talk with Haru once. Bro, he was cool. There's very few people left. Akane. When she flat started wagging a maid, there was a person who helped her a lot. Someone traveled around the country. It's definitely you, Yuki. I'm gonna say it's definitely Yuki. Here we go. Oh, is it gone? Oh, the smell. This is the source of the smoke. There's a military smoke screen that was often used for strategic purposes in modern warfare. It was on the ground and still spreading a little bit of smoke from it. Also close to the smoke bomb, there was a flash grenade that had been used and became an empty steel barrel. Flashbang and smoke screen, these were also. Teruya and I opened the door at first to the arsenal this morning. In an instant, a tremendous light and sound came upon me. At the same time, the smoke screen spread like a mist. Looking at this far, no matter what I think, these grenades can be affirmed as the cause of this situation. The question is who would do this, and what happened while we were confused? Was it also the culprit? The most realistic case, while we opened the arsenal, the killer was already inside the arsenal. Even if it was estimated from the time of death of Haruhiko, timing's right, in an absolute soundproof arsenal, no matter how loud it was, it wouldn't have been impossible to notice. So when we went to escape to the arsenal, in order to escape, they would have no way but to meet us outside. Smoke screen and flashbang used to winning. It's difficult to say that a person would artificially come out at the same time we opened the door. Oh, no, wait. This is... A thick wooden plank was stuck in the inner handle of the arsenal door. Now is in the state of being doubled towards the opening of the door. Something that I heard right before opening the door with Teruya this morning. Looks like it was this wooden board. Overall development that could be inferred so far as thick plank was clasped in the door of the arsenal, and the flash and smoke grenades were both placed on the plank. That happens when you forcefully open the door from the outside. The board gets crushed. The placed grenades fall to the floor. A shock triggered the grenades. Something feels weird. In the end, if it was meant to be used by the killer to get out of the arsenal through an enormous light and sound, was it necessary to use this cumbersome method? I can't even guess what the killer's goal was. Yuki, welcome back! Monokuma, why are you here? Niece, why are you treating me so harshly? I served you a meal as promised, didn't I? Did you eat your food? Enough time for your nonsense jokes with you. Disappear. Why are you so angry, I wonder? Anyways, I've forgotten something, so I came to deliver it to you. It's the Monokuma File 4! Oh, right. Weak reaction. Mighty you baka mulberry. Alright. Killer File 4. It's already the 4th file. No, let's stop thinking like that. Only option now is to think about the case. Killer File up by Monokuma. It doesn't seem like much help, but I'll have to read it first. The victim is Haruhiko Kobushikawa. The estimated time of death is about 6 a.m. The body was found in the arsenal. Cause of death was excessive bleeding due to a gunshot wound to the right chest. In addition, the index finger and middle finger of his right hand were ruptured and broken. Gunshot wound? From the first time I saw the arsenal at the ballroom, I guessed it vaguely, and from this fact, the intake seems to be a gun. Time of death here is about 6 a.m. Time was lost when I spent it in the ballroom, but when I went to the dormitory to change my clothes a little earlier, checked the current time was around 9. That means Haruhiko's death was less than 3 hours. Got up after listening to the announcement at 7 a.m. this morning, so the incident really happened quite early this time. This time the time of death is properly written, and I guess the cause of death too. There's a trap in the Monokuma file for the previous case. There's a confusion of the time because it didn't write down whether it was AM or PM. Fortunately, there seems to be no doubt about this Monokuma file. But that's it, the Monokuma file is just that. No special clues to be found in it. At least we know the estimated time of death. Let's take a note of it. Oh, there's an Uzi there. On the ground. Huh? Suddenly, while investigating the corner of the wall, I saw something out of place. This gun, why is it so far away in the corner of the room? Picked it up the floor and checked it. Felt a heavy, peculiar feeling of how real it was, but I couldn't find anything particularly strange. Just a gun that doesn't change much, like all the other guns that are on display. Was it just a little far away? Mate, what are you doing? Huh, what is it, Teruya? You should take your hands off that gun right now. Wait, this must be some misunderstanding. I was just trying to investigate over here. That gun, it will blow up. Eh? Blow up? What are you talking about? What are you doing? Now you've decided to kill. It's a shame for me to tell you this, but it'd be a big deal if I were in your shoes right now. So never touch that gun. That's not it. I was just trying to investigate. This is a misunderstanding. Why would I try to kill you? Eh? You weren't trying to shoot me? That's right. So what did you mean by this blowing up? Forget it. It's nothing. What? Teruya's sudden behavior is strange, but according to his words, this could be dangerous, so I put the pistol in its original position and decided to leave it alone. However, Teruya's strange remarks feel like something is odd. I'll take note of it. Yeah, why do you say the gun would explode? Oh, is that why his fingers are broken? Because Hiko tried to use the gun and it blew up? This is a pistol. It's located in the immediate vicinity of Haruhiko. Then this pistol could be the weapon that killed Haruhiko. Or so I thought, but soon I realized it was wrong. The guns are all scattered on the floor. There wasn't only one gun that fell on the floor. Perhaps it was the criminal's actions. Most of the guns fell to the floor and were mixed randomly. From this point on, I don't know which gun was the one that directly killed Haruhiko. It'd be difficult to conclude that this is the gun used for the killing, just because it was the closest one. Seems that the guns were all scattered in order to prevent the real one to be found. I should check things out. Kinjo. Maeda. In the end, I can't hide the awkward mood. Kinjo told me to focus only on the investigation, but I was still worried about it. Just... Yes, do you have anything to ask about the case? Well, I mean, Haru's body, he wasn't killed instantly, right? Indeed. In fact, there is a hole in the chest, and even in the Monokuma file, it's said to be an excessive bleeding death due to a gunshot wound. A gun. Until now, thanks to the layout of the school, there were murders with items that would be common in the everyday life. To think there would be a person who was shot to death. It's fine. You guys may not be familiar, but I have my fair share with gunshots. It's something you don't know. It's fine to ask. Because the incident happened, even though there was a conflict less than 24 hours ago, Kinjo was much different from the way he usually treats me. Well, maybe it's the gun and the chest wound. Would it be better to see this as an immediate death? No, I don't think Haru was close to immediate death. Huh? Why is that? Even if it was on the chest, it's not the heart, it's the right chest. The bullet passed through the body. Since it wasn't stuck, it would have been possible to move for a short amount of time, rather than die immediately. Wasn't stuck means it penetrated the body? Wouldn't it be more dangerous then? There are surprisingly many people who think that way, but in reality, it's better for a bullet to pass through the body than being stuck in it. There are 3 types of layer damage to a body. One is bleeding, another is burning. The last one is the impact of a bullet's kinetic energy. If you look at one by one, it is difficult to inflict great damage due to the small surface area in case it burns. It is rare that from excessive bleeding you die immediately. The story of a shock caused by the kinetic energy is different. Maeda, if you got hit with a fist or a bat, it will be difficult to move due to the impact, right? That's, well, if you're an ordinary person who doesn't have special training, that'd be even worse. Similarly, when a bullet gets stuck inside the body, all the kinetic energy turns into shock energy, creating an instantaneous large space in the body. The fact that this space has been created means that the body has been greatly shocked. The shock will not cause negligible damage and damage to the surrounding organs as well. Really, I'm not sure what you mean exactly, but anyways, That means penetration is a better alternative to getting stuck, right? That's what it means. In fact, in some foreign countries, there are bullets that split the front part of the bullet and cause fragments that get stuck into the body. That's terrible. The bullet did this. It was a fatal injury to be hit by this bullet, whether it was stuck or was pierced in the body. Especially in the case of Haru, as you said, the chest was hit, so even if it was pierced, there was a high possibility that a hole in his lungs was pierced through. As I said before, it's only less shocking, and he must have died shortly after having difficulty breathing and bleeding. It's hard. Guns should only be cheap for the wicked, unless it's in an extreme game. This is an extreme situation. Doesn't really seem like a need to be talked about. Anyways, I'll move to another place since the arsenal has been roughly investigated. Make sure to investigate carefully. If you find something, let me know. And Joe, there was an incident yesterday, and he seemed really unstable recently, but it seems everything is okay because of the current one. Was it only me that had a hard time to deal with it? Seriously, Kinjo was a completely different person from the first time we met. The time he was hostile to us, and the time of the investigation. But that was check what Kinjo told me. I didn't really understand it all, but in summary, it's better to be pierced from the bullet than having it stuck. In Naruhiko's case was the latter. Was it like this? Okay. Couldn't see it properly because of the smoke, but when I suddenly stopped to look at it, I could find that there was an unnatural blood stain on the floor. Blood traces danced throughout the arsenal as if Haru wandered around the arsenal after being shot. What is this unnatural blood stain? It's only obvious that it's Haru's blood, but rather than trying to run away after being shot, just by looking at the blood spots, it seems as if he was trying to move in the arsenal all over the place. Simply put, it was so bizarre. Is it reasonable to assume that this degree of descriptive blood was made by the killer, dragging Haru unconscious? For now, I can only think of it as a possibility, but there must be some reason for the blood to be left in this way. Okay, let's go. Oh, I have to go like this. Damn, man. Fuck, man. I miss Haru. Haru was a good dude. He was a little bit of an asshole sometimes, but he was a good dude. It's Haru's body. It's no different from our friends who have died so far. It's cold, empty eyes. We are alive today because you're dead. Don't you think it's absurd? There's no way that Haru, who had passed away in such a devastating manner, would answer me. But the class trial still remains. If we can't find the culprit who killed you, we will all die. By all means, I'll find the one who killed you, Haru. I won't make your death in vain. After expressing minimal condolences to Haru as if making a prayer, began to investigate his body. First, the fatal wound that can be considered as the direct cause of death must be a gunshot wound to the chest. In the case of friends who have died so far, if they used a hammer, a knife, or a plaster weapon, that makes the murder weapon bloody. In the case of Haru, because Monokuma prepared an arsenal, he was shot because the treasure provided inspiration to kill him. However, I don't really know how to deal with this, as ordinary students like me don't have the slightest idea of how one feels as being shot. The murder weapon is a gun. Even if it was a gun, what kind of gun was it? In addition to the gunshot wound in the chest, there's something suspicious. Haruhiko's right hand. Blah. His right hand was devastatingly destroyed so much that I couldn't see it with my eyes open. It was literally destroyed. The index and middle fingers were completely amputated, and the remaining fingers were torn to pieces in the skin. Holy shit. Oh, they didn't mean like they were broken. It means his hand was completely decimated. I'm sure Haruhiko got his wound from being shot to the chest, but what in the world happened to the wound on his right hand? No matter how much I think about it, I don't think my hand would look like this if I was shot by a bullet. Rather than a gun, it's like he got caught in a dynamite-like explosion. I think it's a little seared when I look at it closely. I wonder what kind of gun was it that shot Haru. It's urgent we find out the identity of the object that caused the wound on the right hand. No more noticeable clues, and I couldn't see any more of my friend's terrible body, so I decided to stop and get up. Oh, there's something over here. What is this? At first there was no distinction from the blood on the floor, but when I looked closely, it felt something. It was like remnants of something other than blood was stuck on the floor. A gun? Is it really? It was so disastrously destroyed that there was almost no form left, but I almost thought of a gun form of parts. It wasn't just because of the destruction, but a large amount of blood with each piece of it. Because of the lighting on the floor, it was difficult to see it clearly. How can it be destroyed this way, though? It's like seeing a bloody octopus. No, it doesn't make sense. While observing the remains of the destroyed gun, I suddenly found something noticeable. This gun, it's loaded with bullets. In mind, I checked around the other guns, but all of the magazines were empty. For this to be the only one destroyed, a small number of bullets were The arsenal was basically unloaded, and the bullets were loaded separately or stuck on the magazine because of these conditions. And the fact that the only one loaded with bullets is this gun means there's a possibility that this is a murder weapon. Sounds like a pretty important clue. Let's be careful to remember this. Are these his fingers? There's blood splattered in this area too. Whoa, eh? Trying to check the conditions when the gun's on display, but there was blood on display. I looked up close, I witnessed an even more grotesque sight. Fingers? It was human fingers, no matter how you look at it. And of course, the owner of these fingers was Haru. I know Haruhiko's body had a ruptured hand in addition to the gunshot wound in the chest. Among them, his index and middle finger fell off from it. His fingers lie here as proof. But why are his fingers here? First glance, it was far away from Haru's body. From the shape of the blood, it seems like he began to walk after his fingers got cut. No, it's the opposite. It was likely that this was where his body moved. Taking a glance on the floor, she considered the possibility that the killer moved the body for some reason. Okay. No, it had to have been Haru that moved, right? So, like, I think I have the basics of the first part. Haru tried to shoot the gun, probably in Teruya, and it blew up in his hand, taking out his fingers. And Teruya probably bailed after. Mikako, you were here. What about the arsenal investigation? I did it, roughly. You aren't supposed to do it roughly. Yuki, I want you to listen to me. Huh? There's a problem with the alibis. During dawn, I kept monitoring the hallway. You were, Mikako? Are you okay? I didn't really know, but you could have died because of hunger. It's okay. I'm used to it. You're used to it? Anyways, about the alibis. My room is right next to the arsenal. Unfortunately, because of the soundproof, I couldn't hear anything inside the arsenal. Only the sound of the arsenal door opening and closing could be heard. That means you saw it? You saw her when she was in the arsenal? I heard the sounds. I couldn't see them from this room, but I could see the moment when they were passing by the door of my room. Isn't that right next to the arsenal anyway? If I had passed in front of Mikako's room and headed to the arsenal, no. It's the hallway on the left side in front of the arsenal. Due to the structure of the ballroom, if you turn to the other side and enter the arsenal, you can move without seeing the eyes of Mikako. That's right, but at least I've seen a few people when I entered the arsenal. Really? Who were they? One is Haru. And the other? The rest, I'll tell you in the trial. Suddenly I thought about investigating. Still weird girl as usual, but thanks to Mikako, this case could be solved fairly easily. Apart from that, I'm worried about Mikako's health. She usually looks weak and nervous, but this time she couldn't even sleep or eat at all. I hope she's okay. Satsuki, why are you standing still doing what? Yuki, what am I supposed to do? Is it because it's Haru? It seems too horrible, but now we have no choice but to investigate, even if it sounds cheap, in order to survive. Survive, is it? Satsuki? No, yeah, the investigation. I have to, yeah. She's so quiet that it wasn't like Satsuki at all. The girl that went rampant like always. Seems that Haru's death hurt more on her than any of us. Kindra, what are you doing in front of the door? Yuki, you're here. There was something I was going to check right now, but if it's okay, why don't we check this out together? What are we looking for? We're looking at it. We're looking at it. It's open. Wasn't this room? Indeed, it was from Haru's corpse. I borrowed the key from it for a while. Because this is an incident in a closed space with limited movement, it's better to search everywhere as possible. Decided to follow Kindra and investigate Haru's room. It's a room that's no different from my room, shockingly enough. Yuki, look at this. There's something of interest here. Yeah, some kind of paper. To Haru, I have something to say. If you read this, why don't you come to the arsenal? I'm not going to kill you. I hope you believe me. I'll be waiting. This is... Oh, the letter was written by the killer. The same method as when Maki was killed. Besides, this letter wasn't torn like last time. It's proof that the culprit couldn't even mess with. However, this seems a little more than what it takes. What it takes? I'll ask you, Yuki, after reading this, would you go to the arsenal? Huh? I mean, by the time this letter was sent, they would kill me. just after we hit each other and fought. In that situation, if I received a letter like this from you, it was also the way Hiro used putting a letter down the door. Down the door? How can you even know that? Can't you tell by a glance? There's no reason to meet face to face to give a letter. There's no other way to send a letter in a locked room like this. It's definitely the first time anyone thinks of calling themselves out for murder. Why did Haru go directly to the arsenal? Well, but couldn't it have been known that they didn't know because it was impossible to think normally? I mean, just before we went crazy. No, we were already crazy. If you look at the source of that madness, it's due to being starved and dying because we couldn't eat food and the fear that someone might kill you. In other words, it's because of the self-defense fear of death. I don't want to die. So you'd rather judge things related to death more rationally than usual in extreme situations. Still, the question remains, why did Haru go through death's door by all means? Is it because they believed it? What? Haru probably believed. He believed that no one in our group could commit a murder. They believed until the very end. We were all on the verge of releasing the strings of reason, but it was different from Haru. He was the same. He wasn't sane, but he still opposed the idea of murder to the end. Kinjo, you did that too, right? He didn't want to ask you, but we'd all gotten weird. He pled for you to do something. Because Haru was like that. Even if they were insane, he would have trusted a friend and gone straight to the arsenal. Such stupidity. That's not worthy of the word trust. It's like jumping into death without being able to judge the situation. What's wrong with that face? Were you hoping to get closer to me? Do you want me to be impressed by saying this was your way of showing your trust to others? Well, look at the result. He died because of that stupidity. That's the reason I'm far away from people like this. Kinjo. Enough. We're investigating now. We can't get excited over personal feelings. Well, whether Haru acted that way because of mischief is withheld, but this letter is an important clue in the end. Just finding this gives great achievement. There seems to be nothing else special in this room other than this. I'll leave and check another place then. Let's see each other at the class trial. I thought he was okay, but Kinjo is, after all, having doubts in his own mind. This class trial ends safely and we all survive. We'll have to seriously talk about Kinjo's state. Is that it? No way, that's it? Everyone hear me? It's already time! Anyways, it happened only inside the ballroom, so there's not much to investigate, right? Now then, everyone, please gather in front of the entrance to the courtroom. So it's already the end of the investigation. No matter how much I do this, it's too short. Damn, I don't think I've recovered my sensitivity yet on my body. If it can't be helped, I did my best to investigate as much as I could. All that remains is what we have investigated so far. We have no choice but to guess the killer with everyone else. That's it? That's all we get? Dude, that's fucked. That's so little clues. Everyone's here. Yes. Oh, Yuki's here? Then let's start the trial. Only the tension is flowing, the mood terribly awkward. While in the ballroom, the world of a lawless land was so colorless and hard. Above all, the number of people was too small. 7 people, including me. Besides, one of us is a culprit who killed Haruhiko. Even if this trial is safely handed over, the criminal will be executed, and only 6 people will remain. 6. It was a number that didn't feel real. When has our head count been reduced to this extent? Looks like everyone is gathered. Well, it's easier to manage people since the numbers have been reduced, but isn't everyone's tension too low? Events that are washed out like class trials are more lively, you know. It's no fun because there's no reaction at all. Jeez. Now that it's already the 4th time, right? This is the start of the fun class trial, so get on the elevator. Whatever the case, I have to go beyond this class trial. The later issues are for later. Everyone has their faces as if they were determined to do something, even in an awkward mood. Different thoughts intersect each other, and we ran into a hell called a class trial once again. We finally escaped from the ballroom due to the death of Haru and escaped the risk of being hungry to death. I'm not happy at all. We could only survive by someone's sacrifice. It's the same for the class trials. At the expense of one criminal, it's a system where everyone lives. So sad that I have to do this again. Kobazing. This case. No, you don't have to think so complicated. Let's move. What do you want? Don't worry about me. I'm not crying. Let's go. Then I'll open the door. Let's go. Fuck, man. It's gonna go down to 6. I don't know who did it. Well, obviously I know Teruya is involved. I don't think... obviously, I don't think Teruya did it. It's way too obvious. He's a red herring. But I don't know who would have done it then. Because there's nothing... There's no evidence pointing to anyone else. Like, at all. Except Teruya. There's legitimately nothing. So I have no fucking idea who did it. First, I thought that this elevator was so narrow that it felt full, but now it's so wide. I looked at the 6 other than me, in heavy silence one by one. Kinjo is now in complete trial mode. In this state, Kinjo does a 180-degree change. He only uses his head to break through vents before his eyes. But is it because of our mood that it looks like there's an anxious expression somewhere? Iranami has not lost her bright appearance at any time. She was still unable to escape from her shock of losing Haru. She wasn't the same Satsuki anymore, and her shaggy appearance made even the beholder's heart ache. Mikako was always the same. She just stayed consistent with silence, and I couldn't even tell what she was thinking. Taira looked very tired. She doesn't want to lose any more friends, and she doesn't want to go through class trials anymore. A kind of heart seemed to linger on her face. Teruya was restless. After the incident, I may feel that Teruya's behavior is strange, but if you think about it, Teruya was like this at every trial. This is not unusual. Mikaro wasn't saying anything that she'd watch us shovel as usual, but she was thinking of something unfamiliar to her, something unexpected even for her. Is there anything that will get us stuck in this case? Different thoughts and different beliefs cross between each other. At the point where there are only 7 people left, we're thinking differently, but we have to overcome this. A hell-like 4th-class trial. The elevator stops, as if we had made an appointment. We step at the same time without a special signal towards a very familiar courtroom. You're here! I was waiting! How are you guys? It's been a long time, hasn't it? You met with us right after the murder happened a while ago, though. Nah, I mean meeting me as the judge. Well, it's been more than a week since the last trial. Instead of that, this presiding judge is more stylish than usual. Don't be useless and start the damn thing already. Shocked. Well, I'm always neglected. This time it's getting more thorns. Don't you think so, Yuki? I don't care. Start as Mikaro said already. Even Yuki is rude to me. This could be a sign to represent your heartache. Then I'll start as you want. God, it's so empty. Now, shall we start right away? To uncover the truth of the prolonged stay in the ballroom incident for more than a week. We have the all-exciting, heart-pounding class trial. The only thing that's the same as usual is Monokuma. Each one of us were in serious mode, unlike usual. The tense air in this trial, the feeling of losing a dear friend to us. The reasons were different, but in the end we came here for the class trial. Now all that remains is to find the culprit by confronting all the clues, testimonies, and test our wits that we have. Haru, our relationship with him was finally bonding us together in the middle. He was like a licorice in a drugstore. As Satsuki always showed his bright side, and at the same time, his love for his friends was twice as deep as anyone else's. As a result, thanks to his death, we were able to eat and survive, but Haru couldn't eat anymore. It was an unavoidable choice to live, but as a result, there's a culprit that killed Haru. If we don't find them, we'll all die in the end. The atmosphere of the court is filled with silence. Our trial finally begins. Okay. Fuck, man. There are not many bullets. Alright, let's go. Next part, we'll start the class trial. See you then.